Hey, what's happening, Nation? It's Joku. I want to take another look at this defensive end position tonight. I really want to take a deeper dive into it because I wasn't sure if Gruden and Mayock were kind of down on Farrell or what they were thinking, and it really got me. I was like, man, all right, we got to take a look at this. So, if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe. I really do appreciate that. But I don't want to waste too much time tonight because I don't have a whole bunch of time tonight. But I just want to get your guys' opinions on this. So, we got Maxx Crosby. I mean, he's 6'5", he's 255, he's 22 years old. The kid's a freak, man. I love him, and I really think he's going to shine again this year. I think the addition to the defensive tackle position is really going to help him from taking those double teams, and I think you'll see him excel and have another great season out there. Diego, what's going on, dude? Clowney or Iverson Griffin. I would like to have a solid rotation at that edge. Completely agree with you, man. That's why I want to take a look at it tonight. People get tired easy. So yeah, Max is on the team. And then we got Clelin Ferrell. Love him or hate him, you think he's a wasted draft pick or not, I actually love that kid. I do not think he's a wasted draft pick. I think he's the perfect defensive end. I think it's going to take him, it took him a little time to adjust, but he started to get it towards the end out there. He's not a true edge rusher, but he is a solid defensive end. He's 6'4", 265. He's 23 years old. I mean, those two are young. They're working together. They're coming up together. I really think that's a solid pair for us out there. Joshua, what's happening, dude? Yeah, brother, we do. Oh, Graphic, what's happening, dude? I'm so happy you made it out, man. Anthony, what's going on? 805, we got Nassib and no money for all the other guys, man. I'm telling you, that one's tough, man. Let's jump into Nassib real quick. Dude, 6'7", 275. He's 27 years old. There has to be something that Mayock and Gruden see in him that... I know we can play linebacker too, so that was a big part of it, but that dude's getting paid. He needs to go out there and prove exactly why we went out there and paid him that money, and I really hope he can do it. Like, I truly hope he can do it out there. Clelin Ferrell put on a little bit of that extra size. I really don't think he's going to be playing inside that much this season, so hopefully playing outside with that extra bit of bulk on him will really help him out. How much does Clowney want? Dude, last I heard, like at first Clowney wanted like 18 to 20, which was insane. There was no team that was going to go out there and pay that. That's why he was still sitting out there on the board. And then a couple people came out there, and I think they offered, I think Cleveland was like 14 or 15, but he didn't want a one-year deal. I really just think he didn't want to play in Cleveland. I don't care how good that roster is looking. There's not many players that want to go play out in Cleveland unless you're truly getting paid to go out there and do so. Just, I mean, the stadium, same thing with that Oakland used to be. The poor stadium, poor workout facilities, things like that. Like, nobody wants to go out there and have to deal with that unless you're truly getting paid for it. But I really think Clowney's going to end up signing for probably about $10 million, and I really think we can get there, honestly, with just a few cuts. Like, if you cut all the linemen off the back end of this thing that I have down there at the bottom, you'd free up a couple, probably 2 or 3 more million to tack onto that deal, and that would end up being pretty good for us. Rather have Jamal Adams. Dude, Jamal Adams is a tough one, man. That dude, he is going to cost you a ton of money, and we just don't have that kind of money. I would rather have Jamal Adams, too. I'm telling you, man, you're talking about cutting everybody to bring that dude on. I just do not see that happening. Not 265. Diego, no, dude, he put on that weight. He's up to like 275, 273. That's just what they had him ranked out there on the roster, so I was just bringing that. I know he's a lot heavier than that. Yeah, Jamal would be nice. Nassib is solid. I'm really hoping, Anthony, what's up, dude? I'm really hoping that it does end up being really solid for us. He's played around a good bit. He knows a lot of different systems. He could end up being really good. It's a lot of money, man. That dude needs to be a star if he's making that money. I'd rather have a lockdown corner, Ramsey next year. Yep, and end up sitting on the money that we have right now to keep that freed up. I will give you that, 805. I'll give you that all day. If we see the amount of snaps Nassib played, numbers are impressive. They're above average. I'll give you that. I wasn't truly impressed by it. Ramsey is a diva. Ramsey is a diva, man. But sometimes those divas go out there and make those plays. Who's more likely to get a roster spot? Key Harris or PJ Hall? Man, here's the thing. I love Arden Key. I truly love that kid. I want to see him make this roster. But he is one of those dudes that truly sitting on that bubble out there. He's 6'5", 240. He's only 24. He's like 15 to 30 pounds lighter than all of our other defensive ends out there. I know he can bend, he can really take that edge, but if you take that away from him and you force him to bull rush you inside, you're going to be able to stop him because he just doesn't have the weight and the power behind him. I'm really hoping he made some leaps and bounds this offseason and has just really been training. But he's a big wild card, and if you stop at him and you're saying like he's on the bubble, then you get into Jeremiah, Ade, and Kendall, and those guys are like true just question marks that I really don't see making this roster at all. If I had to pick one of them, it would probably be Valiloga out there, just because he has the size, he's young, he's 275, he's 6'6", and I do like that kid. He's played around a pretty good bit. I wrote down, but he was undrafted. He played for the Lions, he played for Miami, he played for the 49ers, where he actually played some actual snaps for them, and now he ended up being with us. So he's been around a little bit, but he is still super young. He was doing a little bit of practice squad, finally hit the field with the Niners for a little bit. And then Kendall Vickers, he was an undrafted guy brought in by Pittsburgh. They let him go. He signed with the CFL, played a little bit of that Canadian football, ended up having a decent season. But, I mean, he's 6'3", 295. So, I mean, he kind of breaks the mold of all the other defensive ends that we have out there. But he is a true run-stopping defensive end out there. So I'm curious to see what ends up happening with him. He's honestly pretty quick. He can get to the quarterback. But there's a big difference coming from the Canadian Football League to the NFL, so we're going to have to really see what happens with that one out there. Where were you guys? He backs it up. Yes, he does. But it would be nice stuff, and we do get to see if our young corners. Yeah, I like our young corners. I really think Isaiah Johnson's going to impress a lot of people. Tyler, what's happening, dude? Welcome to the show. I'd rather have Clowney. It will make everyone else in the secondary look better. That is true. Anytime you can speed up that pass rush, it makes everybody on the field look better. Key is about speed, so only third down guy, like when we drafted him for. And if he can hold down that role, I'm right there with you. I'll take that. Rob gonna try to use Arden Key the way he uses Simmons. Yeah, that's very possible. I could see that. If Marinelli comes out there and uses him like a Simeon Rice, to where he is just a pure blitzer out there, it kind of forces them to draw the double team, but that opens up somebody else on the offense or on the defensive line, so that's pretty good. 6'3", 295 is a big, yeah, dude, 6'3", 295 is a beast. Kendall Vickers is but that's the other thing. He's a guy that could definitely move into that inside defensive tackle position, so he might end up grabbing like, I really only see us keeping like 5-6 max of these defensive ends out there. Plus, you got to figure we're carrying at least 4 defensive tackles. So, I mean, that's 10 right there taken up on your defensive roster. But if he's keeping that number 6 spot out there, it's very possible. Clowney probably going to go to the Pats. It wouldn't surprise me. It never surprises me when one of these big names go to the Pats late. It just is what it is. But then, let's go ahead and take a look who's still on the list out there. So, you got Clowney. He's 27. He's the big name. He's the one that everybody wants. Everson Griffin, he's 32. He's coming off the Vikings. He's still out there in free agency. His age is a big thing out there, but I think if he came in there just as a rotational guy, not as the starter, let Crosby and Farrell go out there and do the work, bring him in just in the rotation with Key and Nazem out there, I think he might end up working out pretty good for us. I do like him. His age scares me a little bit out there. Oliver Vernon from the Browns. He's 29. He has a little bit of upside. He's getting up there in age. He'll be 30 by the time the season starts out there. But his time has passed him. It sucks to say, but it is what it is. And then you got Jabal Sheard from the Colts out there. He's 31. All these dudes, you'll see it. They're all like 30 or above. Guys that you can get way cheaper than you can get Clowney. But as far as sealing off our rotation out there, I think I'd rather see somebody like Arden Key or Jeremiah out there just kind of being that 4th and 5th guy, being in that rotation, just because they have the size, they have the speed, they're younger, they're not going to be as injury prone out there. The next one on the list out there was Cameron Wake from the Titans. He's 38, but he wants to get another year in. He honestly played pretty good last season, just being a rotational guy. I really hope they keep up with. I don't know. I don't know if we're going to bring him in. I think that's pretty far-fetched, but he is on the list of the dudes out there. But he might end up going back to the Titans on just a vet minimum. I could see him just kind of hanging it up if nobody picks him up out there, which kind of sucks because he's been in the league forever. Dudes earned my respect over the years. And then if you get into our Raiders that are still sitting out there, you got Josh Morrow, who I apologize. I thought he was still actually on our roster. He is not. He's a free agent out there. We did not see too much of him last season. Times where he was out there, he was pretty good against the run. But other than that, there was no real shine out there. And then the last guy was Dion Jordan, who did play very well for us, that we probably could get on the vet minimum. I'm sure we told him to go out there like, hey, man, you played good. Go test free agency. See how that's looking for you. If it doesn't work out, we'll give you a vet minimum contract on the back end. So there's a chance you still see Dion Jordan back out there. I did like him. I thought he came in there and made some plays for us, man. So if we can get him back on the vet minimum and not have to blow a bunch of money, I'd kind of take that out there. Balogun played at UNLV. Yes, he did. I think Rob Marinelli is our biggest addition to the D-line this offseason, if you know what I mean. He's a tremendous coach, man, and he can figure out offenses before he plays them just because he's been in the league so long. He's seen so much of it that it makes a huge difference. Vernon just had his contract restructured. I did not know that. Did you see the video of Carr and Bowden throwing and catching passes? Yes, I did. That actually looked pretty good. It honestly looked like Bowden was slowing up and catch a few of those passes out there. So I did not like that, but they're just getting their timing down. I think Carr just needs to start letting it go with some of these young guys. We can't get him anymore. I did not see that. Oh, they did. That's one of the other. You're right. My bad, Diego. They did restructure his contract. That was one of the things that pushed the Raiders up on that Clowney chart, because after they restructured that, the Browns were kind of out of it as far as accepting Clowney. So, yeah, good call on that. I did miss that. Thank you for that. Brian Edwards is out now. He's healthy. Oh, yeah, dude. He's out. Pass on Wake. Yes, definitely pass on Wake. Yannick is still out there. From what I saw, that he was not still out there. I think he ended up getting restructured or something signed with him. We'd have to trade with him. He was no longer on the list that I was checking out. The list was... it was only about a week and a half old that I was looking at out there. I did not see his name on that list. If he is still out there, I think there'd be a lot more talk about that. Check on that for me, Jason, dude. I really don't know. I think he is gone. Look at Hoku Corman's Twitter. Trade for a player. Yeah, I think Yannick is out there. Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check on that. He injured his foot during the training combine. Will Compton's another dude that I talked about that I really thought, he put some Twitter messages out there. It really looked like he was coming back this way. So that's still a definite possibility. I really think it would come down to him and Vontaze as far as locking down that linebacker spot. I think the team would be leaning more towards Compton. I'd honestly be leaning more towards Vontaze out there. Yannick is still with the Jags. Don't you have to trade for? That's what I thought. I thought he was still with the Jags. I thought they still had him under contract. Yeah, but he's a linebacker. Yeah, he is. I know what you're talking about, the defensive end, but Markel Lee is looking in shape. He is looking... Dude, I'm telling you, Nicholas, welcome to the show, dude. I love Markel Lee. And that dude, there's a reason that dude is still riding our roster, even though he gets hurt every season. I really think that dude can go out there and shine. I'm really, really hoping that he does. Compton, Nanakin still wants money. Yeah, that is true. That's the thing, Diego. He wants to get traded. He wants to get... I knew he wasn't out on that free agent list. He does want to be traded off that team, but he does want to get just paid, truly paid. We don't have that. I like Morrow and Compton better than Lee. Morrow has to prove something to me, man. I'm telling you, he let me down last season. When he had the other linebackers around him, and I will give you that, the start of last season, when he had the other linebackers around him, he was looking pretty good out there. But then once they were gone, he had to step up and kind of fill that role. He was not able to. He's still young. He still has a lot of talent. He's still growing up, so we'll see what happens. Terrell Suggs, no, I will take a hard pass on that. Morrow was not bad in coverage. Morrow got lit up by running backs out of the backfield. That was his biggest flaw, and it drove me insane. I could not deal with seeing that another game out there. Who's your favorite cornerback outside of Trayvon Mullen? I really like Isaiah Johnson out there. I really think he has a shot at being that number 2 cornerback for us to start this season. A lot of people are just saying it's going to be Prancer Arnett, but I really think Isaiah has a chance to sneak in there and win that starting job. I love that dude. B&R put an article out saying that we need to re-sign Morrow next year. I'll see, dude. People are putting articles about everything about out there. It's all about just getting as much talent as we possibly can on the board right now, and I really think that's why you're seeing us play for this defensive end out there, just because once we get behind Nassib, it takes a big step back. And for as much as I love Key, if he's not willing to step up and fill that role out there, it's really going to hurt us in the long run. So hopefully Key steps up, then we take one more guy. But as far as getting Clowney or getting another defensive end out there, I really think we need one. I truly think that we do, because I don't think you're going to see maybe Balogun, but Aruna and Vickers not going to end up making this roster. They're going to be maybe practice squad, especially Vickers, just because he is so young. I could see Aid kind of just moving on, seeing what happens with him. And honestly, I could see Jeremiah going out there and being on the practice squad. So we need to get that fifth spot out there. We have to, because those three guys cannot be in that rotation unless one of them shows up and is just a true superstar for us out there. If we get Jaden, then we're 100% a playoff team. If we get Jaden, dude, it kind of completes that defense. I'm not going to lie to you. I really think our secondary is looking pretty solid. I love our linebacker room out there. I know that White and Muse are still young, but I really think they're going to end up stepping up. And they're going to have time to progress since we're going to be playing so much nickel out there. I would love to be able to lock up that defensive line and just give Marinelli every weapon he needs to go out there. We need a solid linebacker to show Muse the way. And really, I think Littleton and Kwiatkowski will be able to teach Muse everything he needs to know about this league. Who is our starting cornerback? I really think, it's going to be Mullen on one side. And then to start the season, you're probably going to have the veteran guy Prince out there just because he has been around. He knows the league. That's where I'm saying Isaiah Johnson might have a shot out there just because he knows this defense. But I really think any one of those, or if you either Prince or Isaiah out there, will be a perfect number 2 for us. And then just kind of have Arnett start working into it. So I think Arnett will end up finishing it by the end of the year if he pans out like I think he is. And they've already been talking about him shining. So I love that. Do you think we paid too much for Mariota? I do. Initially, I thought we did, but that contract is so incentive-based that he's never going to hit all of those incentives out there. So he's not going to see a bunch of that money unless Carr ends up honestly getting hurt, because I don't see him just kind of crapping out on it. Morrow and E. Harris are trash. E. Harris is a tough one, dude. I'm curious to see what happens with Harris out there. Muse will impress everyone when he gets his chance to play. And I think you'll see it on special teams at first, Adrian. I really think you will, and I think hopefully he's one of those guys that works his way up there. Oh, USC Raider Lake, what's up, dude? What's going on? Hope we get Clowney. We could be an elite defense with him, freeing up the other guys. We really could. And like I'm saying, dude, if we go out there, you get rid of Jeremiah, you get rid of Age, you get rid of Kendall, all of a sudden you have like another $2 million. You throw that at it, and then you got your 5 defensive ends. You got your perfect rotation. You got one guy for injury. It kind of sets back Farrell a little bit because you know he's going to lose some snaps to it. But I really don't think in the long run, I think it would help Farrell a tremendous amount. I think Nassib would still see a decent amount of play time. And then if somebody did get hurt, you still have Arden Key coming in there to back him up. So he's still learning. I really think it works out well for us, man. Odds on Tyrell Williams playing a full season. Yeah, Anthony, I'll give it 50-50, dude. That's about what I was going to say out there. Harris is not trash. No, I like Harris, but Harris is going to be fighting for a spot on this team out there. Harris plays some games where he goes out there and he looks like an elite safety, and he plays some games out there where he's just like, where is Harris? And then he's 5 feet behind the wide receiver. That dude's gone for a touchdown. Hope he plays a healthy season. I really do hope he plays a healthy season. I think Ty Williams could end up he was a big part of this offense before that plantar fasciitis crap. And I really think he can get back out there and be a huge part of this offense. Carr been working out, throwing bullets at the Vegas parks. Not going to lie to you, dude. Carr looks jacked out of his mind right now. I was so happy to see that. Bruno, welcome to the show, man. Who has more rushing yards, Jalen Richard or Lynn Bowden? As far as just pure rushing yards, oh, man, that's a tough one, dude, because I really don't know what they're going to do with Bowden. Something I read earlier was talking about him possibly moving to the outside receivers if we get some injuries out there. But I still see him lining up mostly in the backfield. But I see him catching more balls than running the ball. But at the same time, Jalen's going in there as just our third down back. And you're talking about him maybe taking draws, but he's getting a lot of those dump offs. That's a good question. If I had to say it right now, say just based on play time and the way this season's probably going to go, I'd have to give it to Richard for no other reason than that. My bad. Do you think Mad Max will have the same sack number? As long as Mad Max hits double digits, I'll be super happy about that. I'm not expecting him to go out there and do anything crazy or put up any huge numbers like that, but as long as he can get back to double digits, I think he'll have the season we're all expecting him to. What veteran signing Raiders can do? Right now, I'm thinking it's probably going to be Everson Griffin. Like, if we're going to go out there and get one of these guys, or you'll see Will Compton, or you'll see Vontez, or maybe a combination of those two, because if you get them on those vet minimum contracts, you can play with a lot more money. So I could possibly see 2 vets coming back in. My personal opinion, I would love to see it be Griffin and Vontez. I think those two would make a huge difference on this defense. Like, I think we can get them both cheap, and we have the money to sign both of them again right now. So that would be big. What's the chances of Simpson to earn a starting role by the end of the year? It's a definite possibility, dude. I think it would have to come from injury, but that kid, that was a huge addition for us. Like, as far as keeping our offensive line jacked moving forward, that was big. Do you think the reason we got Nassib was because Marinelli liked him? Maybe he saw a good game plan to use him in. It's very possible. It's just that size out there that he brings out there. I mean, if you have Crosby on one end, you have Nassib on the other, those are two huge dudes rushing the ball. And then if Jeremiah ends up making this team, and that's another huge dude working in there. Imagine having the Logan, he just pans out. He ends up, this is the fit, it finally works for him. Marinelli gets him turned on. And then you have two ends on each side, 166, 167. They're both 275. You're going to be raising some hell out there, and I really do like seeing that. Harris is hot garbage, bro. Had 2 good games. That's it, dude. And he has. And I think Harris and Arden Key might be 2 of those names that you see come down that board, and you're just like, they're no longer Raiders. And Key, I'll be pissed about Key if he's no longer a Raider. If Harris is no longer a Raider, I kind of see it coming, so I wouldn't be too shocked about that. Which wide receiver stands out this year the most statistically? I mean, everybody's expecting Ruggs to just go off this season, and I really think Ruggs is going to have a good year. But as far as just touchdowns go, I don't think he's going to have the yardage, but as far as touchdowns go, I really think Edwards is going to shock a lot of people out there. I think Ruggs will 100%. Successful Gruden will get him open every time he's on the field. He's going to be a superstar for us. Adrian, I truly hope you're right, dude. I truly hope you are, because I would love to see us have that receiver back that just strikes fear in teams. I think Muse will start at Sam, but Sam won't be on the field that much, especially in our divisional games. Nickel and dime will be our dominant in our D. Clowney will make us. See, that's the thing. When you get into those nickel and dime packages, especially if you get into that dime package, that's where a guy like Clowney on this team would make us just truly shine. You are dead on 100% there, Raiders 52. I think in the nickel, you can still get away with that 4-man front. That's looking pretty good. But if you get into like a true dime and you start dropping dudes back, if you had Clowney on one side, you had Max on the other, and then you had Malik Collins sitting there in the middle, and we went into a three down dime package. Those are 3 crazy pass rushers that can still get to the ball. I like the way you're thinking right there. DC got built in the basement. He did, dude. That's all you got to do. He's just sitting down there eating protein, gaming, and working out. Foster looks healthy in the car videos. Great sign for shoot, dude. Man, Foster is a beast. Foster wearing the number that he wore at LSU is a reason for that, man. I'm telling you. Foster is going to shine. I really hope that after this season we lock him up to a contract, because Foster, man, that kid is a huge difference maker for us. Nassib blocks down the run. It's really helped. His DT looked good. Don't get that many sacks, though. He doesn't, but he gets his hands up. The dude actually bats down a ton of balls, so that's pretty big for us. Did they cancel all preseason? The last I heard, it was still just down to 2 games, 1 home, 1 away, but there were serious talks about canceling the whole thing. And then I know college, I think it was the Pac-10, ended up just, it's all just divisional games. It's nothing crazy. So that part kind of scared me. I'm really curious to see how this season shakes out, man. I really think they're going to do everything they can to pull this thing off. If baseball coming back at the end of July is going to make a big difference, they're going to gauge a lot of stuff off of that. Renfrow will be our standout wide receiver. Renfrow is going to be the exact same Renfrow from last year that we all truly loved. I do not see him like busting out or breaking out just because there is so much talent around him, but I see him being that guy that Carr just truly trusts. He's our big 3rd down guy. He's making the plays when we need plays. Renfrow is awesome, dude. Awesome. If Gabe balls out, we can use him as trade bait for next offseason or at the trade deadline. I'm telling you right now, dude, if Simpson's looking strong and it comes to that trade deadline, you could see Jackson moved at that point, especially if there's something that we can pull, like a big move where somebody needs a guard. We can spare a guard, and it's somebody like Gabe Jackson. You can get a big name right before the trade deadline like that. Keep an eye on that one, Diego. How many yards did Jacob rush for? I'm saying right now I would call Jacobs putting right around 1,300, and I would be so happy about that. It's a free agent in 2023, 1,500, 10 TDs. I'm going to say 1,300. I think 10 TDs, 9 to 10 TDs is pretty close. Foster is a young Jason Witten. He truly is, dude. That kid is special. I'm telling you, man. How many tight end sets we run, that 2 tight end set, Foster is like the piece for that we need. I think Witten's a backup just in case Foster gets hurt. But I think in those 2 tight end sets, you're going to see 2 superstars at our tight end positions. Yes, and they will have the same birthday too. I do. Abram is going to the Pro Bowl. Abram's a tough one, man. The kid needs to go out there and just settle down and just play football. Stop trying to drop his shoulder on every single play. Abram, I think, is something special. That kid talks so much trash, and I know he's going to go out there and back it up. So I love every second of that. I don't know if he's going to be in the Pro Bowl this year, but you're going to see him make some big, big plays for us. Cleve battled down 5 balls. It goes. That's what I'm saying, dude. I love Farrell. I love Clelin Ferrell. A lot of people just dog on him, dude, and he's trash. We wasted a pick on him. He's a defensive end, man. He's a defensive end. He's not an edge rusher, and he does his job, and he got better at it as the year went. Totally adjusted to the NFL level. That kid's going to shine next season. I'm telling y'all. Yeah, I think so. Abram's going to feast. Abram's going to put the pain in a lot of people this season, and it's really going to help this defense, and I could not wait to see that. Do you think Gruden to impulse to rookie veteran signings? That's why we need Genius Mayock. Yeah, Salvador, I'll give you that. I'll give you that all day. Our D-line is about to tear up the league. Our D-line has the chance to be one of the better D-lines in football. And if our defense, or if our secondary can play up to the caliber that I think it's going to play at, you're going to see us shut some teams down, man. I've been saying it since the start. Bringing in those linebackers, bringing in a little bit of safety help, it's going to make a big difference for us, man. This team's going to end up being special. I'm really hoping we pull this season off because we got a serious shot at winning this thing. All right, guys, well, that's pretty much what I have for you tonight. Just wanted to take a look at that defensive end position. I want to get you guys' opinions on it. Please hit me up after the video. Let me know who you think are going to be those starting 5-6 guys out there. Let me know if you think any of those bottom 3 dudes are going to end up making this team because, like I said, I think Jeremiah is the only one that really has a shot at it, and then above him is Key, and Key's on the bubble, so there's no telling. Do you want Clowney? Do you want one of these other guys? Let me know. Please hit that like button on the way out. It really, really helps me out. But until next time, guys, I'm Sanjoku. I appreciate you all for coming out, man. We'll see you guys next time.